Okay, I'm trying something new. I'm making this little video, then I'm going to upload it, and you can watch it in your own time. Let's see if it works. Saves me having to write a long email. It's like a little quick tutorial about bits and pieces. And the bits and piece I wanted to send you a long email about was that Twee just sent me an email about uh, an opportunity with Save the Children, and the opportunity was to do training, so therefore it's relevant to us, but very specific training on climate change and disaster risks, right? So obviously our staff cannot do that training. So one model for getting, and really, the only real model for getting projects like this is to find the trainers and then sell MDF as a training organisation that manages and delivers quality training while bringing in this case, disaster risk experts to do the training. So that means satellites as we know them. So that maybe in this case, if we actually knew some people who could deliver this training, we could go for it, and then selling MDF really as the professional training delivering organisation and managing, and then maybe some staff supporting, and then climate change and disaster risk experts. However, this is a typical INGO terms of reference, and when I've read through the whole thing, I realise a few things. Firstly, they're not asking for any methodology, they just want CVs. They also don't mention a budget, and they don't mention whether they want any international inputs or they just expect Vietnamese to do this training. I think they expect Vietnamese because the beneficiaries are Vietnamese at provincial level, and there's no mention of interpreters or anything like that. So they're looking for experts and Vietnamese ones in this area to do the training. And although they ask for a firm, they actually ask for interested consultants / agencies, so that individual consultants can just send in their CV for this job. And well, why would they join MDF then to apply for this job if they can send their CV in directly? And also, we wouldn't be cost competitive against people who just send their CV in directly. And also, it's not just for firms, so NGOs, non-tax-paying organisations, can send their proposals in as well and their CVs. So it's a very unfair competition for a firm, and certainly Mekong Economics doesn't go for this sort of thing. And in terms of inputs, they've said 29 days, but it's not clear if they want 1 or 2 persons. They give 12 days for a presumably 5-day training course. For me, that would be about right for 1 person. 5 days of training, 2 days of transport, 5 days of course preparation, because the course they want is very specific, and they list exactly what they want contained in the courses. So if they're expecting 2 people, that's too much. If it's a job for 1 person, well, they can just send in their CV and they'll get a job for 29 days of work. So I don't think it's even worth us bothering about it. And just to confirm that, when they list the detailed skills and qualifications and experience they expect, it's far too specific. And that suggests to me they've already decided who they want to do this job. They want at least 5 years experience in DRR/MCCA, HVCA and resilience programs with child focus. What? Previous experience in designing and conducting TOT training in related fields for relevant stakeholders. So in this field, doing TOT training, I think they've already decided who they want to do this job. So no, I wouldn't suggest MDF even bother about this opportunity. But in principle, we should look at anything that says training, and we have to decide if we can find the experts. But the problem is, this is a typical NGO terms of reference. They don't care who sends them the CVs, individuals, firms, tax-paying, non-tax-paying. And they won't say that the budget is this much only, and they won't say that price will be weighted 20 or 30% in the proposal, so that gives you an idea about whether they're prioritising price or quality. So without that sort of information, it's very hard to decide to make the effort to apply for this sort of job. And also this sort of job, it's very small. This is not even 30 days of work. So we wouldn't touch it at Mekong, and I don't think we should touch this sort of job at MDF. We need to better to talk to people like CARE and get onto their proposals and train their staff and be hired directly by NGOs to do jobs. We don't want to respond to some competition with a very vaguely worded and lacking information terms of reference. So unless it's a really big project, say that this was a TOR for 200 days of work, then we would maybe ring up or visit CARE to try and find out the missing information and to find out how serious they are about international inputs, and then consider going for the project. But for a small one like this, I'd throw it out straight away. So this is my little tutorial on example of how to read and understand opportunities. There's no rules for it. It's an art. You need to look at the information and put it all together and reach a conclusion about whether you should go further or just throw this one out. Okay, see you later. Let's see if this works.